of collecting data from the states, involvement of these states through video conferences for confirmation and validation of the data, involvement of a third-party agency, IP Global, which looks at the data, and partnership both with the Health Ministry and the World Bank, which are represented here. I welcome them as well to this meeting. Secondly, the involvement of the ministry is typified in the value that they attach to the ranking of the states in terms of the incentive that they give to these states based on the performance of these states. In addition, the methodology, we'll go through that, has a high weightage to outcomes. 70% of the weightage is to outcomes, which nudges the states to focus on the outcomes of maternal and child health, sex ratio at birth, while not losing sight of the process and the governance indicators, which are also very important for the performance in the health sector. This slide shows the indicators. So these are the other earlier rounds which we have released for the state health index. Now we'll go through the the performance of the states and the results of this fourth round. The results show that the states of Uttar Pradesh, Assam and Telangana have performed the best in terms of the improvement in their ranking over the previous year, 18-19. Uttar Pradesh recording an increment of 5.53% on a score of 0 to 100 in terms of in all their health indicators. Similarly, Assam 4.34, Telangana again 4.22. So these states have performed extremely well, and which is reflected in their overall ranking on the state health index. If we look at how these states have performed in the previous rounds and the incremental ranks that they have secured, it's seen that Uttar Pradesh has shown a quantum jump over the previous years when its incremental ranks were not that high, but this time it's the topper in the country. Similarly, Assam has also extremely well performed, and Telangana has been a consistently good performer, which has performed well since earlier times, and its overall rank has also improved. Next, please. So this chart is showing the ranks and the scores that the states got in the third and the fourth round. Here we can see that Assam has jumped 4 ranks, and similarly Telangana has jumped 1 rank, while Uttar Pradesh, as we talked about, has had the same rank inter se, but in absolute numbers it has recorded an increase of 5 points overall in the scores. Another encouraging feature of the performance of the states in terms of health has been that overall for the country there has been an improvement in the performance, the average performance of around 5 points for all these states. So most states have done better. The variance between the lowest and the highest ranking states has narrowed down, and generally the country is on progress in terms of health indicators. These are the overall ranks in terms of the status of health in this round. Kerala, like all other previous rounds, is the topper for the country. They have taken a lead which they are maintaining. Tamil Nadu, again like the last round, is the second in the country. Telangana has improved its rank by 1, and it is the third in the country. Now, if in this slide we have mapped the 3 domains based on which is the outcomes, the governance and the inputs, for which the composite score has been prepared. It is seen that Uttar Pradesh and Assam have extremely well performed in governance indicators, and Telangana, of course, has performed well in all 3 indicators. Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Telangana, these have performed well in all 3 indicators. Here we are categorizing the larger states in terms of their overall performance and incremental performance, and the same results are here to be seen. Assam, Uttar Pradesh and Telangana have been the most improved, have shown the most improved performance. Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra have moderately improved their performance. In terms of smaller states, now we go to the smaller states because the methodology involved breaking all states into 3 categories. Mizoram is the topper here, with a huge increase of 18.45 points in terms of the score that it got in this round as compared to the earlier round. Similarly, Meghalaya again is the second best performing incremental state with 17.7 points improvement in the score that it has got. So these are huge improvements in health outcomes for these smaller states which have demonstrated high quality of implementation and better outcomes. Nagaland follows. In terms of what these states have performed, we see that Mizoram and Meghalaya both have jumped their ranks, and unlike the earlier rounds, it's been a quantum leap for these states where they have made a game-changing difference in their health outcomes. Nagaland has been a consistent performer. It was ranked third in terms of incremental performance last year also, and the same remains this time. Here we are saying the jump in ranks. Meghalaya has jumped 2 ranks. Similarly, Sikkim has jumped 1 rank, and Mizoram has jumped 2 ranks over their incremental ranks since the last round. In terms of overall ranks, Mizoram again is the topper in the entire country. They have again increased their overall ranks from 3rd in the last round to 1st this time. Tripura is 2nd in the country, and Sikkim is the 3rd in terms of the overall performance and the overall ranks. The 3 domains that we look at here again, Mizoram appears as the consistent performer in all the 3 domains of outcomes, governance, and inputs. And the same thing, Meghalaya and Mizoram appear here as the most improved states, and Nagaland following thereafter. In terms of union territories, now going to the union territories, we see that the best performance in terms of incremental scoring has been done by the UT of Delhi and Jammu Kashmir, followed by Lakshadweep. So this again is a huge gain of 9.68 points for Delhi, and the UT, the erstwhile state of Jammu Kashmir, increase of 9.55 points, followed by 7.72 for Lakshadweep. Incremental rank that Delhi has secured has been again a quantum jump over the previous rounds, where it was the 6th in terms of incremental performance. It is the 1st this time. In terms of 3 domains, we see that Delhi's performance has been consistent, and Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Diu have have come out as the topper, and a large part of it is contributed by their governance, better governance and stable tenures. Here we see this improvement. Delhi has improved by 1 rank, Jammu Kashmir by 1 rank, and Lakshadweep by 2 ranks, and Dadar and Nagar Haveli by 1 rank. In terms of overall ranks, Dadar and Nagar Haveli are the toppers in the UTs, followed by Chandigarh, which is a consistent performer, which is ranked 2, but it was ranked 1 last time, and Lakshadweep, which is ranked 3, which was ranked 5, and it has improved its performance. We saw that Lakshadweep is the 3rd best performing UT in the country. So with these ranks, sir, we request you to release the report. But before that, Sheena Chhabra, who has collaborated on the behalf of the World Bank with the Niti Health vertical on this, I will request her to say a few words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sarwal. I think World Bank has the proud privilege and honor of being a technical partner along with Niti Aayog and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare right from the inception of the very first index report that was generated based on 2017-2018 data. And I would like to also take this opportunity of congratulating Niti Aayog for generating the 4th successive round of the data. I think in terms of, if we really look at health index, it is really like an annual health checkup. What it helps to do is, on an annual basis, helps to track how the overall performance has moved year on year, and especially what has been the change or the delta or the incremental change that has happened between one year to the other. Not only in terms of the composite level, but also for each of the 24 indicators of the index. And that's something which the states can look at the parameters on which it has improved, parameters on which it has stagnated, and parameters on which it has declined its performance. And one other very useful thing which has happened with the index is that the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has tied the index along with, in terms of to the incremental performance or the delta in terms of the incentives that are provided under the flagship National Health Mission. And what that is also helping to do is to really shift the focus of the states from looking at inputs to much more towards the outputs and outcomes. And that is a change that is happening, and I think the index has been largely instrumental in. The other very important aspect that I would like to flag, what it's also helping to do is to really improve the culture of using data, of looking at data and seeing and monitoring based on available data. It is also helping further the agenda of data improvements. And I think as we look at the whole quality and improvement of data, there are many aspects, which need to be looked at in terms of regular availability of data, and also there are certain domains like, non-communicable diseases, mental health, looking at urban health systems, etc., where there is more need to look at how we can monitor this on a day-to-day basis, and that remains a work in progress. And and that's one of the reasons why in each of the successive rounds we also see that there are some indicators that are added, especially like on quality. I think the third round was able to add a lot more indicators. It also looks at in terms of improving the quality of the regular routine reporting of the data by looking at independent validation of the data and improving that quality of data. And that scrutiny is also very, very helpful. So I think overall, I'd just like to reiterate that this is a wonderful tool to look at the change in performance across states and UTs. And I would really thank and congratulate NITI Aayog and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for this.
Thank you very much, Sheena. Thank you very much. Now, privileged to invite our CEO, Amitabh Kant sir, under whose guidance the entire exercise has proceeded. Over to you, sir.
We've been doing this exercise of ranking states in the spirit of what the Prime Minister has called cooperative and competitive federalism. In the cooperative side of it, we actively work in partnership with the states. Vice Chairman and members and all the advisors go out to the states and regularly hold meetings and interaction with the states on how we can assist and support them. In the competitive federalism, we do ranking of states on several areas: education, health outcomes, SDG. We've done it on a constant basis for aspirational districts. And the objective in all these exercises is to see how the states are performing, and not to look at the historical performance, but to look at the incremental performance. That is the delta, the change during the course of the year. And therefore, we are tracking progress on several outcomes, one of which is health outcomes and health systems performance. And this should lead, to our mind, this is leading in the ground to a very healthy competition. And this is also encouraging cross-learning among states and union territories. The health index round 4, that is 2019 and 20, is we always try and associate ourselves with an external party so that there is a third-party validation also, and in this case it's the World Bank. This is an annual ranking of all states and union territories on overall levels of performance and incremental improvement, and I would like to lay stress on the incremental improvement performance, because that is really the key on how states have improved over a period of during the course of the year. And the importance of this annual tool is re-emphasized by the Ministry of Health Welfare. Its decision to link this health index to incentives under the National Health Mission. And this has been instrumental in shifting the focus from merely budgets, the focus from budget spends, inputs and outputs to outcomes, which is our most important things, that we are focusing on outcomes. So we carry out a very robust, very acceptable mechanism for measuring the performance. Data is collected online through a portal maintained at NITI on agreed indicators, which are then validated through an independent validation agency, and the validated data sheets are all shared with the states. So important thing is that the validated data sheets are shared with the states for their verification. This is then followed by video conferences with the states for resolving any disagreements and disputes. And then the final sheets thus finalized are shared with the states again, and after agreement the data is finalized, and that is used for analysis and report writing. So a huge amount of due diligence is done in partnership with the states, and every state actually responds to the data. And therefore, this entire exercise is done in partnership with the states and their acceptance of the data. And I would like to really state that amongst the largest states in terms of the annual incremental performance, Uttar Pradesh, Assam and Telangana are the top 3 ranking states, which Mr. Rakesh Sarwal pointed out. So there's been a quantum jump in the incremental performance of these 3 states. And amongst smaller states, Mizoram and Meghalaya have registered maximum annual incremental progress on indicators, and amongst union territories, Delhi followed by Jammu Kashmir were the top ranked union territories in terms of annual incremental performance. So we are not focusing on historical performance, because if we only focus on historical performance, Kerala will always be coming first. There's no doubt Kerala will be coming first, which it has. But our challenge is not to look at historical performance. Our objective is to look at the change made during the course of the year. That is what Niti Aayog focuses on and asks the states to bring on change. And therefore, I am truly delighted that several states, particularly UP, Assam and Telangana, have shown huge incremental performance, and we are delighted at the release of this report and to show that there has been a quantum jump in the performance of these states. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now we'll hear our Vice Chairman for his... before the release of the report, sir.
For it. Okay. If you like. Good morning, everybody. These reports are what now people expect of Niti Aayog, and the highest quality that has been maintained, and the integrity and the objectivity of these reports. So I congratulate the team for bringing this out, and also the World Bank for having cooperated with us. Moreover, I want to congratulate those who have done so well, who achieved such amazing improvements. UP among the largest states, Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Mizoram in the smaller states, Delhi and J&K among the union territories. All my congratulations to them. And this is expected because we expect convergence of those among all states, and therefore it's just as well that some of these states have now got this improvement. And the more important thing is that states are beginning to take cognizance of these indices and use them in their policy making and resource allocation. That's most satisfying, because this close collaboration that we've achieved with the states shows that they now know the importance of this and are using them for the objective that they are meant, which is to nudge better performance over time. And given that the close collaboration that we've had with all the states, this report is an example both of competitive federalism and cooperative federalism that Niti Aayog seeks to achieve in its work, in all its work as we go forward. Only thing I want to add is that the overall score, even of the better states, and especially of the others, shows that there is still a long way to go for us to improve on our health parameters. And I think that's something that we need to focus on. Health is a very important indicator of the Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030. And I think this is now incumbent upon us to improve our overall performance, in India as a whole. And I think this report, I hope, will help to take us in that direction. Uh, just just to say that uh, the weightages that have been assigned will of course keep changing as we go over time, but the fact that they are weighted now much more on outcomes and outputs is the right weightage. But again, some others like governance and so on will require further review as we go forward. Um, Once more, I think I just need to congratulate the achievers, what they are called as front runners, and I wish that the aspirants will now double up their efforts to rank much higher when the next report comes out. Thank you all very much for this, and thanks to the team and to the World Bank.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Request you to release the report, sir.
एक फोटो के लिए, हाँ, 1 मिनट रुकिएगा, just 1 second. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Well done. Thank you, sir. Are you working on the next one now?
Yes, sir. We will start, sir.
Start
March.
tomorrow. Ah, okay, very good. And you expect to release the next one?
By June, sir.
By June, not later. Okay. Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for taking
Thanks.
that.
Thanks for all the help.
Thank you.
Very, very supportive. Work with us for many years now.
Maybe this sort of report can come in other South Asian countries.
Absolutely, I think that's something
Kaगaz
which,
in
terms of
India,
where-
And then you can end the Junaid that they can do it for other South Asian
Right.
countries. Then you can do a comparison with one.
Wonderful.
On the Delta.
Right.
I think we should South Asia report.
Hmm.
It's a very good one.
Right.
Region needs it.
Absolutely.
And Sri Lanka will come up, wherever it comes up and we'll get a comparator.
Right. I think that's an excellent idea.
So what we should do is a follow-up workshop on this, about the matters,
Absolutely.
So that we motivate them to participate very actively and show how the state like UP could